Mary Hogan School provides students with a rich visual art experience. We have a large, bright classroom with big tables and storage space for our materials. When students enter the classroom, they will see IB language posted on the walls for us to refer to during discussions.
Sometimes it's really cool to just see other people's artwork because it keeps you open-minded about what other people like to draw and different perspectives of art.
You get to see all this amazing stuff that other kids are making.
I've been very wowed by different kinds of art. I've seen sculptures and a lot of different kinds of art.
I love it. It shows people's different ideas. It shows other people's creativity, what they're thinking. And it just helps, I think it just makes me happy.
Children learn that art is closely connected to other disciplines. For example, science, when they discover how clay goes through chemical changes in the kiln. They learn that each area of study can fuel another. I teach children that art is a language that can be used to express emotions and point of view that connects us to each other and to the natural world. It's important that they know that creativity crosses the boundaries of all disciplines and that the skills they develop in the art room will serve them throughout their lives, whatever they choose to do.
Mine is a seahorse and they can flow in the water. I'm making a monster with two heads. At the end, he'll notice the guy will come out and talk to the big giant robot and say, I just want to help the bees. It's a school. It's a spy wall. This is what a bull looks like. He's tucking his feet back so he doesn't join his feet against the wind so they don't get cold. The first guy I made didn't have any arms, but then I made another guy and it had arms. This is a board from ancient Egypt that is named the Saqqara board.
Person holding their umbrella and having things, right? They could have tightened it up. But here we really zoomed in on this bug, and I think it's really... with this finger so that doesn't move. Okay? Isn't it crazy? It's just like, whoa.
You can't get up here.
In the fall of 2020, the idea to create a colorful mural on the north wall of our school building to inspire our children and our community was conceived. Mesa was in full support of the plan, and local artist Michael Kinn, who had 2 children at Mary Hogan at the time, was asked to bring his creativity and enthusiasm to the project. Our plans for a mural designed collaboratively between the students and Michael Kinn were forged, and we were set to begin that spring. But alas, the global pandemic put the project on hold. As we returned to school in 2021, with the state of emergency lifted It was clear that we could once again raise the torch and forge ahead with our vision of a mural that would fan the flames of our students' imagination and reflect the ideals of our school community. For that reason, the broad theme of the mural will be community, with a focus on Mary Hogan's 4 core values: belonging, respect, connection, and growth. Our students will begin by engaging in visual art activities that reflect these values and continue with workshops with Michael Kinn. The resulting work will provide the inspiration for the mural's final design.
My name is Mike Kinn. I'm an illustrator, visual storyteller, an artist here living in Middlebury, Vermont. Years ago, I was a instructor and educator for the Audubon Society of Portland in Oregon, and I would take kids up into the mountains and out to rivers, into the ocean, and would go for hikes and camping. And there was a time where I was with a bunch of kindergartners, and we were walking through a place called Oaks Bottom Wildlife Refuge. It was right in the city. I'd been there a million times. I was really into the birds there, and I was leading a group of kindergartners, and we were walking along the trail, and all of a sudden the kids stopped, dead in their tracks, and they all were looking up. And me being on what I thought was a schedule, I was like, oh no, they're slowing down, we need to get over here and then to here to get to the bus, but they were just stopped dead in their tracks, and they started freaking out and just really like, but not using words. They were just like circling around, looking up and down all over. And I was like, I was looking for something super rare. I was like, is there a super rare bird? Is there like a fox around here? What's going on? And it took me a minute, but then I looked up and there was a skein of geese flying overhead. The kind of scene I'd seen a million times, and that we all become kind of accustomed to, and almost becomes white noise to a adult mind, sometimes even a frustrating thing. And that moment really solidified my sense of that childlike sense of wonder that is so important, that we tend to lose as adults. And I really wanted to try to help people really foster that and hold on to that. Now, other than just being inspired by just general the sense of wonder that kids have, it's also spending time with them and listening to conversations while kids are making marks and cutting paper and painting, and how they converse with one another and how they engage with their community, whether it's in a classroom or their whole school or whether it's in a small town. Just listening to those conversations and the things that they think of are really amazing. So a lot of the ideas for this mural will come from these kind of overheard conversations that I will have with the kids, hopefully when I'm making marks with them in a classroom, or just observing, or spending time with them while they are talking to one another. Art creates a common, shared, visual sense of place that anyone who experiences that physical space will then share. It can form connections that transcend any kind of difference, because we all share a common makeup. You know, we all are made of the same stuff. We may interpret everything a little bit differently, but artwork can sometimes be a way to communicate that verbal or written direct communication just can't get to. There are deep nuances that can be communicated through artwork that nothing else can do, whether it be movement, sound, oral artwork, written prose or poetry. There are ways that this can impart information and experience that just a direct communication will never be able to do. So I think creating visual or public art that is accessible to everyone, that there are no gatekeepers, that engenders an openness in a community, and it creates this impression that we are all here to make the world a better place for each other.